want to preface this by saying I love Nintendo. I grew up with their games. They practically raised me throughout my childhood. I hate Illumination. A lot. Well, not a lot. Yes, a lot. I like their visual prowess, but not their writing style. It's... A lot of their movies aren't the greatest, and I was worried when I found out that Nintendo was partnering with Illumination. It made sense, because they wanted that cutesy look, and Illumination does that really well. But it's the writing style and some of the executive decisions they make. And so when I found out that they were partnering up, I was like, oh no. Oh no. And a lot of the stuff that they did, kind of, like, it was very loud in the movie. So, if you haven't seen this yet, well, you're gonna get spoiled for starters. But 2, turn off your brain. Like, not turn off your brain, but become a child again when you watch this movie. Because it's a kid's movie. But it's also a huge gift to the adults that grew up with Nintendo. There is an insane amount of Easter eggs, literally in almost every frame of this film. And it ranges from like Mario Kart, Mario Odyssey, and some of the older stuff. And this movie is nostalgia crack. Like, they put that thing on the line and I snorted it and I was like, oh yes, look at all these pretty colors, look at all this stuff in the background, I love it. So, just, you don't like the movie, that's your opinion. Anyway, let's talk about what I really liked. I really enjoyed the visuals. Like I said, I hate Illumination as a company, but they know how to make a movie look nice. It was nothing but eye candy, they were really good at it, and it was fantastic. There are sections of hyper-realism that just looked incredible. Like, the textures on the hat, there's like this close-up of Mario's hat and it has like the letter M and you could see the threads. Or there's this close-up of Donkey Kong's hand during the fight where it looks so nice that you can see the light going through the skin and you can see the veins underneath and it looks fantastic. I was looking at that and I'm like, bro, they're just flexing at this point. If Illumination put more effort into like wanting to make good stories rather than make money, like they totally could, because it looks so nice. They have so much potential. This is beautiful. Character design. Characters, you know, included in the visuals. They were pleasant. I like them. Luigi, I think, well, he's one of my favorite characters in Mario, and they did him justice. I think him and Bowser, they're like two of the funniest characters. They get some of the greatest lines. And it's a shame they don't appear more in the movie because they really stole the show. And I think I'm in love with this version of Bowser. I've played a lot of Mario, and Bowser is pretty much the villain in like most of the games. And he was great in this one. Jack Black does an amazing job with his performance, and it really makes the character shine. He's a kind of a funny case, because when I was watching this at first, I was like, man, they're really overplaying his like ability or like his simpiness for Peach. And then I was sitting there for a second, I was like, man, this is too much. But then I really thought back, you know, to other games that I've played, and it's like, no, that this was not overplayed at all. Because his literal motivation in any of the games is he wants to rule the world with Peach at his side. Like, marrying her is one of his only goals. And that is his biggest priority. He wants to get rid of Mario because he's a threat. Not only to his ruling, but his potential marriage with the princess. And you see this almost in every game. I think in every... I haven't played them all, but in every game that I've seen and that I've played, you get to see it there. And you get to see more of his, like, dorky side in, like, the Paper Mario series, which they really, like, I guess, showed in the movie, and it was fucking great. But there's context behind it, and I absolutely embrace it. And the fucking song that they make him sing is great. Like, you can't hire a Jack Black and not have him sing. It's the law. Like, it is the law, and it was amazing. I have that. That is my new ringtone. That song is way too good. They did a really good job animating that. Bowser in a groom outfit, he looked fantastic. That's from Mario Odyssey, and he looks great, just as he did back then. Now Peach, I am very happy what they did with her. They made her more three-dimensional. Like, in the games, she doesn't do much. With, like, I mean, she has, like, that one game where she's the main character, but even then, like, here in the movie, she's the character that shows you around. She knows the world. I like to think that she is the main character. Because, I mean, Mario just gets isekai'd and, like, he has to learn everything, but she's the one who's there from day one, and however many days it takes for this journey, but she's there, and she teaches him, and they made her a badass, and I love it. That scene where she's like doing the training course and she just does everything in just one go. It's amazing. I really like that little section. I think it really reminded me of the frustrations that I used to feel, or that I still feel actually, when I play like 2D platformers and I'm just like, man, I just died here. I was so close. Now I gotta do everything again. And it was nice. It was very nice to look at too. The Toads, they're cute. I mean, you can't go wrong with Toad design. Like, he's not very difficult to fuck up. I was not expecting some of them to have such deep voices. It completely like threw me off guard. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And speaking of Toads, I like Toad. The voice acting was pretty alright. I don't think he needed to be there for that long. They really just had them as a sidekick, like comic relief character, I guess. But I feel like he isn't really needed after Peach takes over as the guide. Like, he wasn't, I don't know, Toad wasn't like overbearing or anything, so I didn't really care or I didn't really mind it, but it was like, I don't know, to me it just felt like he didn't really need to be there. But it was cool to have. I do think that his like outfit had kind of references to like Captain Toad in a way. He had like the little pickaxe at some point. I was like, oh, that's cute. I love it. Moving on to the music. I love the music. This movie is visually stunning, and the music is just, it's music to my ears. Let's get this point out of the way though. The OST was fantastic. The pop music, no, I don't like the pop music. It was very off-putting, and honestly, the only purpose was, I guess, to be in the background during like fan service scenes. Like when they get to Kong Kingdom, they're being driven around, and you get this like kind of fan servicey scene, and you see all the cars, and then they're driving around in school, and this is where they introduced like the whole Mario Kart thing. So like I get that, but they played they played Take on Me, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm like, why? That makes literally no sense. It's just there to be there. It didn't feel right. And then during the training scene, they played I Need a Hero, and like, no, it didn't make sense. Like that's a song that would be used for like the climax. Shrek 2 did better. And I have yet to see an iteration that is better than that one. And, I don't know. The pop music kind of killed it for me. It really did. Like, I would be enjoying the score, and then out of nowhere, I would hear whatever the hell Illumination thought was a good idea to slap in there, and I was like, yeah, no, this is just not the greatest. I don't know, I like that the like, little sections have, like, the little motifs, like Peach's Castle at the beginning, or like, just Mario theme in general, and I don't know, I kind of liked it. It did feel a little bit like it was too much sometimes. Like, I feel like they were just adding the motif to shove it down your throat, like, oh, haha, Easter egg, this is what's happening. But other than that, like, I enjoyed the music. I liked the like, I forgot what it was called. It was the Kong Kingdom, or the Donkey Kong place, or whatever. I don't know, it was cool to see. They added the, oh my god, when they added the DK rap, I went to go watch this with my friends, and I turned and I'm like, bro, they added the fucking DK rap. I was so fucking happy that they did. It has to be like one of my favorites. Not my favorite, but one of them for sure. That's the stuff I didn't like. God, Illumination, man. I hate the writing, and it bled through all the nice stuff in this film. There were scenes where, like, as I was watching it, I could pinpoint exact spots where I knew that the Illumination writers, like, dipped their toes. Like, they love this weird, cheesy shit in terms of humor and the writing, and I'm not here for it. Like, the little part with the toad is like, oh, you can't hurt us, like, we're adorable. Like, that's an Illumination decision right there. I'm glad they didn't last very long. Because, oh boy. they didn't take over as much with their writing as I expected they would, because they like to what's the word? They like to stretch out their films to give you like pointless bullshit. And I'm glad they didn't do that, just because like I think they weren't allowed to, in the sense that they didn't have the liberty because there was so much to add that they couldn't even do that. So I'm glad they didn't. Probably one of the most disappointing points of not even the film, but just what I watched in general, was watching the minion driving the little Mario Kart. I was like, oh man, I can't believe I have to remember that for the rest of my life. I could have lived without it, but it's okay. I feel like I'm the only one who I mean, I'm probably not, but I didn't care too much for the existential Luma. I liked it. I thought it was pretty funny the first time, and then after that I was like, oh, okay. And I feel like they overused him a little. Because they had like a gag at the end of the film where he's like, it's like, oh yeah, it's over, but is it really? And he went on, and I'm like, okay, I've had enough. Elimination humor, I'm not a fan of, but the story, I had a little bit of issues with the story, but like, again, it's a kid's movie. You gotta turn your brain off. Like, you have to activate your childlike sense of wonder to enjoy this, and I tried to, because, you know, that's kind of how you're supposed to watch it. But yeah, no, I mean, obviously, it's what you would expect, right? They got plot holes, the script feels super rushed, which, like, I get it, you know? To me, the way that I see this film is like, oh, Shigeru Miyamoto and, like, everyone else in Nintendo really wanted to make movies again and make media for their series, and they were just so excited to do everything that they threw in everything. And I'm like, I'm cool with that. I mean, if I would have been in their position, I would have been really excited to be like, yeah, I want to show this, and I want to show that, and I want to add this, and I would have been like, yeah, by all means. So I honestly, I don't mind. The only thing that kind of bugged me a little bit was that the ending didn't feel earned. Like, Mario's journey is vague, and it's weird that he's like immediately popular despite being a complete stranger who hasn't really done anything. Like, watching everybody clap and cheer for him at the end, it was like, yeah, they're all cheering him on. And even at the Donkey Kong, when he's fighting him, they're all like, Mario, and I'm like, why? You don't know him. You literally just met him. Why are you cheering for him? It just, to me, it felt a little like, I don't know, it felt forced. But it's like, whatever, right? I like his motivation, that he would do anything for his brother. And that's something that's present in other games. I also thought it was really cute that at the beginning of the film, when they're rushing to the apartment to, like, you know, for their first job, he's like doing all this crazy parkour, and as he's going along, he's helping Luigi, like he's putting down like a platform for him to walk on, or he's opening doors for him. And I thought that was really cute. And it reminded me a lot of this scene that happens in Luigi's Mansion 3. And I was like, that's a nice touch. It's a very subtle thing that just says so much about their relationship, and I love it. Honestly, other than that, like, I like this movie a lot. Again, the music and the script, whatever, like, I can ignore the pop music, kind of. I'll just mute that shit. But everything else, oh my god, dude, this movie was fucking great. I've only seen it once, and I want to watch it again. Like, I genuinely want to get, I don't usually do this, but I genuinely want to get like a DVD collector's edition. So when the world turns to shit and we lose Wi-Fi, at least I can put it in a DVD player or something and watch it at home. Because, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get one of them portable DVD players during the apocalypse. I can still watch that film, because, oh man, I need that. I need more of that in my life. Honestly, I'm just glad this movie exists, because it's great, it's cool, and if you don't like it, that's your opinion, and that's cool for you. But if you do like it, oh yeah, because it's fucking great. I'm glad that it's becoming more of it's a commercial success. The critics didn't really care for it, but who gives a shit? These people probably haven't played a Mario game ever in their life. But I'm excited for it because I want them to make more. Nintendo has so much to work with. Like, they have Metroid, they have Zelda, they have... Obviously, they're never gonna do anything with Earthbound. Come on, people, let's rip off that band-aid. That ship has sailed. They have Kid Icarus. You know, like, they have so much potential to make more. And I'm really excited that they decided to do this movie, and I hope that it inspires them to do more. Because I honestly would really like a Metroid maybe a series. I don't know if a series. I think a series would be too long, but like a movie. And it's just like, I imagine it to be live action, like kind of like in a Halo-ish aesthetic. And it would be live action, and it's Samus going through, you know, whatever from whatever game they want to pick from. And I think a movie would be perfect. Like it could be a thriller, like a supernatural thriller. Like that's all I need because there is so much they could work with. And oh my goodness. The only thing I'm curious about is if they ever make a Zelda series, like the silent protagonist is a thing. Like people think that Link doesn't talk, but he does. He literally speaks in other games. You just don't see it or you don't hear it, but I don't know, man. I'm excited. I like this movie a lot, and I look forward to what this will bring for us in the future. And I just hope that it doesn't get to their heads and that they don't start producing garbage, which I know they won't. I mean, I don't know that, but I feel like they won't. Nintendo's very, very careful about what they do with their stuff. They care a lot about their IP. So I think they're gonna be more careful, but I don't know. This film has brought me so much joy, and there are high hopes for the future, and I can't wait to see what's next.